Welcome back, everybody, to Limbus Company. I am me. I'm joined by my good friend Hunter.
That's me.
And we're gonna continue the fucking beach episode, but first, we must do the one draw that will surely give me Sinclair. Surely it won't be a default. Fuck! But this one could have Sinclair. Fuck!
True!
Well, I got Radia from Radia. Ah! Oh! Well, I guess that's my punishment for getting the banner on my first 10 pull twice.
Yeah, maybe that's just deserved, you know?
Maybe it's just deserved that I don't get more freebies. To the beach!
It's karmic balancing.
Get the fuck out of here, fucking Gregor.
불꽃을 벼리겠소.
Gregor, you are the most disappointing of the banner characters so far, I must say. Sometimes he pops off. Rarely, though.
받아볼 텐가.
Yeah, the Radia is just stronger.
Radia is just stronger, and when Gregor pops off, he does do some damage. But Jesus Christ, when Radia pops off and crits all 4 of those hits, and she just detonates someone of like 800 damage, and their 2 friends just gone, toast. Snapped from existence.
Reduced to atoms.
받아볼 텐가.
I really like this ID for Mercy. I really like it. I don't know if it's strong or not.
It's pretty freaking cool.
I don't know if it's strong or not. I think it is. I think it is pretty strong. It is cool to watch, though. Not the strongest house, but it is very cool to watch.
It's not mathematically the strongest ID.
You're right, it is not. But it is very cool to watch.
But it's pretty cool.
I mean, hey, sometimes he does outdamage Faust, and by a significant amount. But that's only when, like, it's a short fight and he just gets really lucky while she does not.
Have you used the 5-coin version of the skill yet?
Not, like, purposefully. Like, it's happened a few times in some of the,
Because he, like, staggers?
Yeah, like the thread excavations. Because sometimes, like, those thread excavations are just like, yeah, someone's getting staggered before. So some of those ego fights are just, someone is gonna get staggered because someone is gonna, like, you know, fail enough of the 50% coin flips.
그래서 이 벌레 개딱지 같은 것들은 뭔데?
Yup.
저기 자꾸 나보면서 묻지 마. 내가 알 턱이 없잖아.
That's profiling.
덱 안 봤어 아저씨.
You're paranoid.
피해망상이라니까.
I'm talking about bugs. I'm talking about crabs.
그랩게네요.
There what? Ishmael injected all of a sudden.
크랩게요. 저렇게 등딱지에 쓰레기나 폐품 같은 걸 붙여서 지비자 무기로 만드는 것들요.
Okay.
지긋지긋한 놈들이죠. 물가에서 일하는 사람들에게 불쑥 튀어나와 공격하기도 하고 주변을 돌아다니는 사람들을 덮치는 일도 잦고 개체수도 날마다 불어나고. 하지만 대호수에 저런 잔챙이들은 널리고 널렸어. 더 중요하고 위험한 건
Ishmael? I was about to check in of Ishmael, as I probably shouldn't let this go on for any longer, but...
벌써부터 그것들을 잡고 있는 건데.
Big ass chainsaw! A couple of people in work overalls seem to be approaching from a distance.
미카, 귀한 고객님들이잖아. 좀 더 예의를 차려야.
아, 그런가?
Do we have money? I forget. Didn't we get like a black card or Virgil
You're
has-
company funded. You didn't get the personal black card for the LCB though. No, you're not that cool. You will never be Sod's level, unfortunately.
We got 3 more Cantos. Give it a chance. Maybe Merceau,
You're right.
maybe Merceau just has had it on him the entire time.
He just pulls it out.
Yeah, no.
Like, oh, we can't afford this.
Dante's like
Rack up a debt on like a bar tab.
Yeah, Dante's like, oh my god, we need money for this. And he looks at everybody. He's like, does anybody have any options? And he looks at Merceau. Merceau, can you help me? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he pulls out the black card. No one asked about it, so.
No one told me to spend it, manager.
하시는 것 같네요.
Thank you, Sinclair, for being the Ryoshu translator for some reason.
레인, 이 사람들 우리 보고 저것이라고
It's his assigned
하는데
role.
꼭 예의를 지켜야 하는 걸까?
They didn't know what to do with him. Now he's had his moment. They don't really know what to do with him, so he's just a translator now.
적일 수도 있다. 어이, 신분을 밝혀라.
저희에 대한 얘기를 전달받지 못하신 건가요?
No.
그래, 전혀 없다. 마치
Fucking
홀쭉하게 신분을
Otis.
인정해 끼어드는 스파이처럼 말이지.
I haven't heard of you. You must be a spy.
저기요, 스파이라면 좀 더 체계적인 방법을 사용하지 않을까요?
그렇겠죠. 오티스 씨, 이분들은 이번에 협력할 분들입니다.
I can't wait for them both to die to a giant enemy crab at the end.
다음엔 빨리 말하도록.
반갑습니다. 미카 씨, 레인 씨. 저희는 LCB, 림버스 컴퍼니 버스 부서입니다.
버스 맞네요. 그때 그분도 버스 녀석들이라고 말하셨으니까.
LCC의 B4팀이 이미 다녀갔다고 들었습니다. 그분이라는
By that person.
잠시 명함 좀 다시 보고. LCC B. 네, 맞네요.
확인은 끝난 것 같으니까 가게로 돌아가서 마저 이야기하죠. 그 버스에 대한 것도 좀 보고. 여기 계속 서서 대화하기는 좀 그렇잖아요.
We're their customers?
아니, 애초에 여긴 왜 들른 거야?
간단히 말하자면 저희의 목적지인 유사는 대호수 위의 배들로 이루어져
We
있는
need
경쟁입니다.
the fucking boat to become a submersible.
메피스토 팰레스의 현재 형태로는 건너갈 수가 없죠.
그리고 대호수는 시시각각 환경이 변하기도 해요. 그 호수에서 버틸 수 있는 배가 필요하겠죠.
Man, Ishmael, make it less obvious you're the next Kanto.
그래서 미리 적합한 공방을 찾아 버스 개조에 대한 계약을 한 거지.
이게 적합한?
이만 들어가지.
지난번 회식 때문에 예산
Did the
타격이
last one hit
컸나?
the budget?
먹을 수 있을 만큼 시키라 해서 마음껏 주문했던 것뿐인데.
Like Radia said, looking at the somewhat dilapidated shop made me curious about the company's finances. But nothing good could ever come out of this conversation, so I decided to table the thought. Fair enough. It's not my problem, and I don't want Virgilius to blame me.
이렇게 쉽게 통과하리라고는 상상도 못했는데. 세가들에게 은자를 풀어야겠어요. 이런
레인, 나는 이 버스 좀 살펴볼 테니까 손님들 접대. 아니, 대응 좀 부탁해.
알았어.
The sinners were led into what appeared to be a workshop packed with tools and various mechanical apparatuses.
이 공방은 보기보다 꽤 고난도의 정비까지 하고 있는 모양이군.
알아보시겠나요?
무기와 장비를 정비하는 공방적 기술에 대한 폭넓은 이해는 전쟁 중에 가장 중요했으니까.
This awkward conversation was cut short by a sudden and deafening noise.
무슨 소리죠?
That was the
의 비명.
bus screaming.
아니, 경보가 작동한 것 같군요.
죄송해요. 잘못 건드렸어요.
They are filling me with confidence.
지금 쿵쿵대는 소리도 잘못 건드려서 나는 거야, 미카?
저기요, 밖에.
방금 마주쳤던 개체와 동일한 종으로 보인다.
Giant enemy crab.
하네요.
비슷한 것이 아니라 같은 개체에 속한다는 뜻이다.
Thank you, Mercer. Everyone outside now? Outside. A giant enemy crab with a massive shipping container on its back loomed over us. Well, at least for a brief moment. We were soon
Giant
overwhelmed
enemy crab.
by the sound of heavy metal scraping against the floor.
좌우로 산계해라.
저건 어디를 또 깨부숴야 하는 거야?
Just as we were all collectively losing our minds. Guys, you deal with this on like a daily basis. When are you gonna stop freaking out every time you see the thing you're meant to fight?
당연히.
They're not always fighting giant enemy crab.
Not giant enemy crab specifically, but to be fair, I'd be more scared of the sentient Aztec doomsday calendar than of giant enemy crab.
Well, it's not necessarily more scary. It's just, you know.
A dark figure leapt down from somewhere onto the creature's head.
가만히 있어라. 헛짓거리하지 말고.
A blinding light and a deafening explosion assault the crab's shoulder.
도망가는 건가요?
The figure leaped gracefully from the back of the fleeing creature and slowly approached us. She squelched over the depressing mudflat in her swim fins and stood before us, a colossal harpoon resting on her shoulder.
아 그래. 너희가 그 녀석이 말한 버스 애들이냐?
After some time passed,
올가 씨까지 포함해 정식으로 소개드리죠. 이번 메피스토 팰리스의 개조에 도움을 주실 어금니 보트 센터라는 이름의 공방분들입니다.
이야, 이렇게 소개를 받는 날도 있네. 아, 좀 쑥스러운 걸.
누님, 그래도 귀한 고객분들인데 행동을 가려서.
아우, 내가 뭘 그렇게 잘못했다고 그래. 나 아직 뭐 안 했거든.
아직이라는 게 문제죠. 개업한 지 얼마 되지도 않았는데 조심해서 나쁠 건 없잖아요.
업종을 갑자기
Man, they're almost as dysfunctional as we are.
아니었을 텐데 할만했습니까? 5급 해결사 올가.
뭐 해결사? 뭐 해결사 줬어? 어째 고귀한 향이 난다고 생각했어.
I always enjoy how you can tell when Quixote's gonna go on a rant because they'll give her very small font as compared to normal.
If the text size is lower, you know you're in for a ride.
Yeah, well, like, the second I saw how much smaller the font was, I'm like, oh, she's gonna go on a rant. Because, like, see, like, it's much more like, and now that I pointed it out, you'll notice it.
미안하군요, 올가 씨.
Oh, I've noticed it before. It's fun.
이제 시끄러운 건 잠잠해질 겁니다.
붉은 시선. 고맙습니다. 존대를 하는 게 너무 오랜만이라.
그쯤 해두고 도서관에서의 사건 이후로 책으로부터 하나 둘씩 돌아왔던 모양이던데.
Oh, cool. They're the people who got booked are coming back. Neat.
어땠습니까? 당신들은?
Was Virgilius booked?
Nope. But
다르지는
he had to deal with the aftermath of someone who was booked.
나 죽었나? 싶었더니 갑자기 눈을 떠보니
One moment. Huh. Am I dead?
미카도 레인도 없었고 당장 배는 고프니까 뭐라도 먹어야겠다 싶어서. 어땠더라?
크랩개가 튀어나와서 주변에 있는 걸 주워 무기를 만든 다음에 산산조각을 내고 구워 먹었다고 하셨죠.
맞아. 칠알맞게 맛없기는 했지만.
그러다가 개에 붙은 폐품으로 고철 바꿔 먹기를 시작했고.
오케이 레인. 네가 설명하는 게 낫겠다.
저 올가라는 사람은 뭔가 대충대충 스타일인 것
Oh,
같네.
I'm there. Yeah, Radia, like someone else I know.
어머? 누굴 말하는지 모르겠네.
엄마? 이건 또 뭐래? 머리통이 의체인가?
누님, 자꾸 그러시면 이야기가 끝나지 않아요.
알았어. 알았다고.
I wonder if they have any plans for this game after Kanto 12.
Well, I would assume if we're following the Divine Comedy rules, we'd get Purgatorio and Paradiso alongside Inferno. Because the cantos we've gone through so far are just under the Inferno title, which is like Dante's Inferno, the Divine Comedy.
Okay. The woman
It's oops all the whole game story is just literature. Don't think about it.
they're like, all right, we finished Dante, and now for the next book, Faust, or you know, the woman they called. It's now, and this now you get 12 cantos, but it's all from Otis's perspective. The Odyssey. The woman they called Olga fell back, clicking her tongue.
Time to take Troy, but in Limbus Company.
And the man they called Rain came forward, bringing us up to speed. He was a fixer, working alongside Olga and Mika until they were all sucked into the library, getting wrapped up in these things called receptions. And just when he thought he was a god or something came to, began wandering and found Olga. They began collecting scrap metal together, with Mika joining along the way, and ended up running a workshop, almost like they used to run the office back in the old days.
책에서 돌아오는 데에는 언제 죽었는지와 같은 순서가 따로 없었나. 아직은 규칙성이 명확하지 않고.
They have yet to reveal themselves. Virgilius muttered something to himself, looking at Faust, who stood near him. Would the Citadel of Faust please weigh in? Faust nodded silently. Man, Ishmael, you're not having a good time, huh?
We're not ready for this.
I knew there was something between the two of them, but it was always about something apocryphal that I couldn't even begin to understand. Besides, I was starting to get worried about Ishmael, who was growing increasingly distraught. It was about time I talked to her about her sudden change. About time, yeah. Ishmael, so you've been here before. It looked like you recognized those crabs from earlier.
근데 문제가 있나요?
Ishmael, I'm trying to make small talk. I'm not good at this. Huh? No, not really. I'm just wondering how they taste. It sounds like people eat those crabs.
무슨 의도로 그런 의미 없는 질문을 갑자기 하시는지 뻔히 보이지만 그래도 대답을 드리자면 네, 크랩 차우더로.
The effort isn't unappreciated.
I am trying to make small talk, Ishmael. Let me have this.
구역질을 억지로 참아야 했지만 뱉어내지 않으면 소화할 수는 있는 맛이라고 해야 할까요? 질문에 대한 답이 됐나요?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't think this was the best question I could have come up with, but her reception was much colder than I'd expected.
그런데 먹을 수 있는 거군요. 저거 환상체나 뒤틀림 같이 생겼는데요.
To be fair, Sinclair, I'm pretty sure half the abnormalities and distortions we have fought so far are technically edible. You could have eaten Chicken Man.
But I mean, this is the city. You can eat anyone.
Yeah. You could have
People just eat people in the city. That happens sometimes.
No, I don't think that's an abnormality or a distortion.
그럼
It's just a giant enemy crab, Sinclair. I don't know how to make this simpler for you.
환상체와 뒤틀림을 구분할 수 있는 단테 씨는 설명이 없어도 알 수 있으셨겠죠.
I enjoy like the characters like Faust and Yi Sang and like some of the background characters, like they have just like the tiny smile.
The very slight
The
discretion
very
and expression.
the very slight tiny smile compared to their normal permanent frown.
저것은 생물입니다. 돌연변이라고 할 수도 있겠군요. 그러니 이론적으로 섭취에는 문제가 없을 것입니다.
I mean, Ishmael ate them and Ishmael's fine, so like there's your proof. It's not theoretical.
저희 할머니도 돌연변이 동물들을 많이 수집하곤 하셨죠. 저런 생물은 저도 처음 보지만요. 참 진기한 구경이네요.
네, 그런 덕분에 저희가 밥도 먹고 정비 일도 할 수 있는 거죠.
The woman they called Mika was walking over from inside the boat workshop, an inscrutable look on her face.
미카, 어때? 견적은 좀 나와?
공방에서 일하시던 아버지께서는 말씀하셨죠. 싹 다 뜯어 고쳐야
The whole shebang.
뭐 엔진을 다 털어내야 한다던가 그런 거냐?
아니요, 그 부분까지는 건드릴 필요 없어요.
I do not trust that engine. I will not touch it. I got near the engine and it growled at me. I do not trust it. It whispered sweet nothings at me.
버스 내부를
It eats people.
정도가 있어야 한다는 생각이 들더라고요.
It shot a bone at me.
하지만 그것 외에는 전부예요. 부력 발생 장치도 없고 프로펠러도 조타 장치도 없고요.
I hope this is the most piece of shit modification ever. Like the flotation device are just like fucking giant plastic barrels. The propeller is just a fan. The steering gear is an oar. So what do we do now?
그건 예상했습니다. 해결 방법을 제시하시죠.
The fuck you mean, Faust? I found out what we were doing here 30 seconds ago.
방금 저 관리자라는 분이 뭐라 말하신 것 같은데 그냥 째깍인 건가? 방법은 우리한테 있어요. 재료만 있으면 어떻게든 만들 수 있죠.
기계를 개조할 재료라고 한다면은 어디?
And all of the parts are on the giant enemy crab.
잘 아시네요. 그리고 잘 하실 수 있을 거라고 보고요. 아까 보니까 잘 하실 것 같던데.
You must kill giant enemy crab.
That Mika pointed away. Toward where the trash crabs were.
크랩개들을 처리하면 폐품을 모을 수 있을 겁니다.
몇 마리나?
I mean, if you could just kill like all of them, that'd be pretty cool.
아주 많이요?
그럼 그렇지. 일하려고 온 거구만. 그치?
정확해.
Since you follow this actually, what is the general consensus on Mersol and Sinclair?
이번
The new ones.
경기에서 너희는 버스를 개조할 부품을 모아오면 된다. 황금 가지를 찾아오는 것보다 쉽고 간편한 일이지.
I guess I'm just gone.
자, 그럼 나는 이 협력업체 분들과 담소라도 나누고 있을 테니 전원 바다로.
The beach episode, yeah.
Get farming.
바다가 아니요.
That's no beach. By definition, it is a beach.
아니, 맞아요.
Did you hear my question, Hunter?
What was your question?
바다라고도 불리는
Sorry.
한 모습.
I asked, since you do follow this, what's the general consensus on the new Mersol and Sinclair?
Oh, general consensus is that Sinclair exists as a fine unit that's able to enable Mersol, who is a nuking powerhouse, but requires a little bit of thought into how you use him because of the ammo system.
카론, 기다리는 거 못.
Strong but finicky, I guess, is the
It's
what
odd
I've heard.
to me. Like, it's fine, but it's odd to me that this cost a an epinephrine module instead of just energy.
Oh, so the way the intervalos work is there usually be an enkephalin module stage you can do to farm. Because when they drop intervalo events, they add like currency you can spend in like a currency shop.
Okay. Neat.
So this would be the mission you would play on repeat to get like modules.
Neat.
이제 깨우치시길.
I need to catch up to where the game is.
Probably have enough time to catch up before we get to our next intervalo.
무얼 잘못했는지 아는 것부터 시도는 좋았어요.
So I guess our next event would be Walpurgis, and that would come with content to do.
목을 팍 물어버리자고.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like we're making good progress.
You're making very well-paced progress. You're not like going so fast that your units and resources can't keep up with what you're doing. You're getting some units, building out some teams, and making your way through the story at the same time. It's a pretty good way to do it.
If I get that Sinclair, I will have like a pretty well done burn team.
Oh yeah, you just need like one unit that's good at applying count, which I think they can do, Mersol and Sinclair, so you might actually be good at it. Yeah.
놀랐어? 빈틈투성이네. 빈틈투성이네.
I still overall prefer like the Rupture team, and then Mersol is just kind of there, just hello.
Once we get to Walpurgis, there are some pretty fun burn units that have interesting mechanics, so it won't be as one team is obviously cooler than the other.
We've been at it for about 2 days, perhaps. We were able to defeat a considerable number of trash crabs and collect enough scrap to fill a whole wagon and then some.
네, 이 정도면 해볼 수 있겠네요. 휴, 그럼 이제 쉬어도 되는 거지? 들려? 어깨 돌릴 때마다 뚜둑 소리 나고 있잖아.
로자 씨, 그러니까 겁이라도 주는 것 같잖아요. 자제를.
뭐 개조를 하는 데 드는 시간도 있을 테니 적어도 며칠은 즐길 수 있겠어. 물론 여전히 휴양과 어울리지 않는 곳이지만.
The sinners were all busy, stretching and chattering, relieved that the work was finally over. But I had a terrible feeling that this was probably not the end of our toil.
네? 쉬기는 뭘 쉬어요?
Of course, I knew it.
제가 말한 건 이제 시작만 해볼 수 있겠다고 말한 거예요.
그렇다는 것은
당연히 더 주워오셔야죠.
참고 삼아. 그 양은?
지금의 한 5배?
후륜 쪽도 포함해야 할 것 같은데.
Oops.
6 times.
7배로 방금
No rest for the wicked.
지금까지 효율을 고려하면 적절한 휴식은 취하지 못하겠군. 기존보다 수면에 할애하던 시간을 줄이는 편이 좋을 것이다.
이럴 수는 없는가요? 이럴 수는 없어.
Don Quixote looked as though she was about to collapse, a woeful look on her face.
아니, 있잖아. 이런 고철 덩어리들을 주워온다고 작업이 되긴 되는 거야? 그야 고철을 적당히 볼트로 결합하는 방식이라면 죽도 밥도 안 되겠지만 유사의 특이점을 이용해 결합하는 과정을 거치면 마치 처음부터 자신의 부속품이었던 것처럼 기능하게 할 수 있으니까요. 유사? 걔네 특이점이라면 무슨 음식 완벽히 포장하는 기술 아니었어? 뜯기 전까지는 절대 내용물이 변하지 않는 그런 거였는데? 거기서 제조했던 통조림도 요긴하게 먹고 그랬었는데.
어째 누님과 똑같은 말씀을 하시네요. 둥지마다 특이점을 활용한 여러 기술들이 있을 수도 있는 거잖아요.
원리만 활용한다면 근본적인 특이점을 기반으로 얼마든지 활용하여 A사의 기반 특허를 낼 수 있습니다.
The Resonance Tuning Fork.
A사에서는 현상 모든 포장 기술과 더불어 공명급수가 유명하죠.
공명급세.
I know it's not. I just imagined a Giga Fork.
It's a really big fork.
It's a really big fork.
그놈이랑 똑같았지. 여기저기에 엉겨붙고 유착되어서는 기어이 삼켜버리겠지. 언제 그랬냐는 듯.
Ishmael, what's the problem?
관리자님, 지금이라도 베르길리우스 씨에게 말해주세요.
What will that accomplish, Ishmael? I could tell him God himself is coming down here, and he'd go, well, that sounds like a problem for you to deal with.
Sounds like not like my issue.
순서를 바꿔서 다른 지부의 황금 가지를 해결하자고요.
Give me a moment. Ishmael, are you okay?
지금은 충분하지 않아요. 모두의 경험도, 대호수에 대한 것도, 고래에 대한 지식도.
Well.
그래요. 제가 알려드리고 도와드릴게요. 충분한 시간이 지난 후에 도전해야만 하는 곳이에요. 저곳은. 그러니까.
야, 자꾸 뭐 하자는 거야? 아까 먹은 크랩 차우더인지 뭔지가 잘못되기라도 했냐?
다 같이 그 개 같은 개딱지 내장을 긁어먹긴 했지만 전 아주 멀쩡해요.
근데 뭐가 문제야? 뭐 지금까지는 우리가 준비해서 쳐들어갔냐? 다 뒤져가면서 해결한 일이잖아.
죽고 죽어가면서 일을 처리한 게 어디 자랑할 거리는 아닌 거 아시죠?
That is true.
저희가 그냥 해결사였다면 첫 임무부터 진작의 전원 사망으로 순식간에 협회에
Also true.
지워졌겠죠.
Also true.
야, 누가 몰라? 나도 뒷골목 조직 생활하면서 몇 번이나 죽을 뻔했는데 목숨이 하나뿐인 걸 모르겠냐고. 그거랑 다르지. 지금의 시계 대가리 덕분에 여러 번 살아나고 있잖아.
지금까지 운이 좋았으니까 멀쩡하게 살아날 수 있었다고 생각하지는 않나 보죠?
아니, 야! 왜 자꾸 못한다고 하는 건데? 환상체한테 머리가 깨져서 뒤졌으면 이번에 다리를 내주고 피하고 그렇게 계속 쳐부술 수 있는 거잖아, 어?
지금껏 겪었던 게 전부라고 생각하세요? 그럴 리가 없잖아요. 최악의 경우엔 복구가 불가능할 수도 있는 거예요. 시계를 아무리 쳐 돌려도 다시 원래대로 돌아가지도 못할 수 있다고요. 특히 그 거대한 고래는 됐어요.
설명해도 못 알아들을 것처럼 말하지 마라, 어? 말도 못 알아듣는 버러지 취급하는 것 같아서 열받으니까.
Fucking, it narcs me when you treat me like a stupid sod.
Least British man ever.
말씀 좀 여쭙겠어.
It was perhaps because he was never the type to do such a thing. But the crowd immediately fell silent when Yi Song suddenly, loudly, and uncharacteristically intruded upon their argument.
그대들 버스에서 제법 하고픈 것이 많다 하지 않았는가? 과업이 남은 것은 사실이나 소기의 목표를 달한 것도 사실이요. 그렇다면 짤다알막한 휴식 정도는 바랄 수 있을 거라 보오만 단테, 이 정도는 괜찮지 않겠소?
Yeah, sure. Yi Song! This is the first time Yi Song appeared so dependable since we started our bus journey. I nodded emphatically. Yeah, I agree with Yi Song. I think we can slow down for a bit, do some team building activities together. How's that sound? Heathcliff, do you want to do the trust fall?
네, 조금 쉬고 계셔도 될 것 같네요.
Ishmael will catch you, surely.
Sure. No, it's Ryosha will catch you. Surely.
With her sheath and cut you in half.
Surely Ryosha will catch you.
저희 쪽에서 준비가 되면 말씀드릴게요.
Hey Raptor, how you doing?
그렇다면 비치 볼리볼 다들 하지 않겠는가?
Beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
With Don Quixote's well-timed assist. I'm good, that's good. The almost icy mood seemed to defrost slightly.
필두, 출진.
We're just having fun with the story in Olympus.
본인이 똑똑히 보았다네. 분명 밀려들어온 태풍과 쓰레기들 사이에서 공 같은 것이 있었음을. 공도 있고 사람도 해변도 있으니 이럴 때 놀지 않는다는 것은
Deny
불합리하다.
ourselves a merriment.
이걸 해변이라고 부를 수 있는.
It is a beach, Sinclair.
던 곁에 여기 놀러 온 거 아니라니까?
본인도 아오. 주원은 고마우나 우리 모두의 단합을 위해 잠시 휴식하는 것이 도움이 되지 않겠는가 하는 마음인 것이요.
그래. 앞으로는 표정이라도 숨기면서 말하는 게 어때?
아니, 나도 동의하오.
이상 씨?
A statement never before seen.
지역 활동을 한 적도 없어. 구기 종목에 특출한 재능이 있는 것은 아니지만
I'm not particularly talented in games of the ball variety.
그러니 해봄이 어떤가?
The game of volleyed balls.
Man, you saw like solving your Kanto really just turned your whole deal around.
준비가 안 됐는데.
We're so not ready. Ishmael, fucking get over yourself.
한그렇게 봄이나 튀기고 있을 때가 아닌데. 애초에 우리는 요새 너무 풀어졌어. 그래, 저번이 유독 운이 좋았던 거겠지.
Ishmael was starting to practically ooze all over with an ominous aura. It might be a good idea to divert her attention for a bit. Let's play beach volleyball.
현명한 선택이요. 내가 공을 찾아오겠네.
아, 그참.
관리자께서 결정하신 유희다. 모두 표정 풀고 기쁘게 받들도록.
I always forget just how much of a fucking brown nose or Otis is. I always forget, and then
You will like this idea.
아, 뛰다가 허리나 삐끗하지 않으면 좋겠구만.
경기 규칙과 규격은 알고 있다. 직접 경기장을 그리도록 하지.
thanks for so. Of course, you know the exact rules and regulations required for volleyball, just off the top of your head. There were grumbling sinners, beaming sinners, reticent sinners.
He's a true Renaissance man.
Their reactions were all varied, but everyone eventually moseyed out to an empty lot to play beach volleyball. I stretched, hoping that this activity would help
Beach
break the
volleyball.
tense atmosphere. Sometime later.
자, 그럼 가겠어.
The field was drawn over a squelchy mudflat. The worn ball rocketed in the air of Don Quixote's serve.
이렇게 하는 것이요.
Thank you, Ishmael. I am so glad you are participating. With Yisang's nicer Yisang, it was starting to look like we had a proper game going.
그렇지. 잘하네.
으차.
어이구야.
쓸데없는 짓이야.
오티스 씨, 방금 공 못 피했으면 저 죽을 뻔했을 것 같은데.
훈련의 일종이다.
Consider this a part of our training.
Ryoshu, you're not supposed to hit the ball with your sword.
자, 내가 받았어.
어,
이럴 시간에 고래의 특징이라도 공부해 둔다면.
Fucking, I just want someone to, what the fuck are you on about with this whale?
대호수를 건너갈 나침반도 없는 것 같고. 젠장, 그 자식은 분명히 어떻게든 살아있을 거야.
아이씨 진짜!
Heathcliff, unable to stand Ishmael's attitude any longer, kicked the ball with enough force that it just might burst. And the ball flew way over the mark and toward the boundary separating us from the pristine beach we saw a few days ago. Ew! Did the ball just pop?
네.
Sure
가시되지 않은
did.
플라즈마장이 형성되어 있는 것 같군요.
A field of plasma? Who put a field of plasma on a beach?
둥지와 뒷골목을 구분하기 위한 일종의 장치죠. 형식은 제각각이더라도 모든 둥지의 경계에는 비슷한 것들이 존재합니다.
뻔하지. 뒷골목 사람들이 둥지로 못 끼어들어.
Look at it, the pores, they're playing a ball game.
있으니까.
Let's hope they run into the fucking thing and
저
die.
기술로는 흔적도 안 남게 할 수도 있었을 텐데. 저런다.
I hate the poor people.
보란 듯이 터뜨려 버려서 그것마저도 오락으로 만들려는 생각인 거지. 부자들은 즐길 놀이가 많겠어.
기술의 구체적인 의도나 과시성에 대해서는 제 쪽에선 말할 수
No
있는
comment.
regarding its sadistic nature.
1시간이나 걸려서 찾았는데.
To be fair, Don Quixote, in the grand scheme of Libus Company, that is not that long. You just killed crabs for like 2 days straight.
다들 정신 차려. 저 공 터지는 소리 때문에 개딱지 놈들이 몰려오고 있다고.
And we're told you're gonna have to kill crabs for another 14 days. Be like, I spent an hour on this. Not that much. I really thought that this could be the activity to dramatically bring us all together. All gone to hell. Why does this keep happening?
뭐 이제는 익숙해질 때도 되지 않았나 관리자 양반? 저것 때부터 빠르게 처리하자고.
Gregor, let me want things.
카론, 기다리는 거 못해. 100초만 기다려줄게.
모조리 지워버려.
Oh, Pentakibi.
무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원할 뿐.
I do really enjoy watching when like Merceau attacks somebody and there's just like 5 lines of like what he did.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
Applies X many statuses to himself and enemy / XYZ.
Yep.
Deal 20% more damage based on ZYX.
이제 깨우치시길.
우와, 카론도 깜짝.
불가 위야. 막아내지 못하리. 무용하군요. 이제 깨우치시길.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
무얼 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가
그렇게 서
시작이랬어.
목이 떨어질 수밖에.
우와.
This poor guy. He has no idea. He's like, oh, what's going on over here, buddy?
Unlucky.
빈틈투성이네.
It feels kind of wild to me just how much like self-poise Faust and Radia and Ishmael apply to themselves.
부끄럽지 않습니다.
While also
it's
doing
good.
like other
바로
things.
세우는 데 일조하였으니. 내일은
Well, Faust only applies self-pose to herself if she's using her enhanced skill. But Rogia and Gregor, they get the Serpent Arm status, which gives them like 3 poison, 2 poison count every turn. Because I think that's it.
늦으면
먹을
입장 먼저
콱
갈 거야.
물어버리자고. 무용하군요. 이제 깨우치시길.
대성공이야. 카론 신나.
이 거리면
노래
충분해.
부를까?
너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
우와.
먹을 콱
카론도
물어버리자고.
깜짝.
P plus enter.
무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원할 뿐.
Woo! 15 damage! Woo!
거슬하긴 무용하군요.
흐드러지게.
우와.
시간 끌 것 없이 이제 모두를 지워버리죠.
이제 깨우치시길.
이 거리면 충분해. 뭘 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가 시작이랬어.
먹을 콱 물어버리자고.
훌륭하군요. 이제 깨우치시길.
Hey, Ishmael.
네.
Can we talk, at least for a bit? I got over to Ishmael once the battle was over. Right. I've never done anything like this before. I mean, you tried if you saw and you failed, but I don't even know if this is the right thing to do or what kind of results this conversation is going to yield. But I can't just sit here and watch.
네. 그러시던가요.
It looks to me that you've been preoccupied with something ever since we got here. You know, you're not really participating in group activities and things like that. You're not participating in the team building exercises.
당연하죠. 중요한 건 따로.
Truly an executive manager.
여기서 정신 놓고 희희낙낙하고 있으니까요.
Something more important. Is this about the Great Lake?
네.
That we, in our current state, shouldn't go there?
네.
Right. So why do you think that we don't have a chance against whatever's there?
말씀드렸잖아요. 아직 준비가 안 됐으니까.
Yeah, but why?
적어도 반년은 호수와 그것들에게 익숙해질 필요가 있다고요. 아니면 그에 상응하는 경험을 더 쌓는다던가요. 관리자님도 마찬가지예요. 적어도 자신의 몸을 지킬 정도는. 아, 관리자님의 단련이라면 제가 도울 수 있어요. 그리고 오티스 씨도 분명 관리자님을 돕는 것에는 협조하겠죠.
그럴 만한 상황이 온다면.
Wait. Half a year, Ishmael. We just don't have that much time to spare.
허비? 허비라고 생각하시나요? 지금 저희가 하고 있는 짓들이 더 허비 같은데요? 그리고 놀고 있자고 말씀드린 게 아니잖아요. 그저 행선지를 잠시 다른 곳으로 돌렸다가 돌아오면 되는 건데요?
그건 불가능합니다. 모든 구에게 황금 가지를 파악한 것도 아닐 뿐더러 비포
다른 잘난 이유가 있다는 것쯤은 오래전부터 알고 있었어요.
I mean, yeah.
그리고 뭐가 됐든 이번엔 그 생각이 틀렸다는 걸 뼈저리게 느끼시게 될 테죠.
그럴지도요.
그러면 적어도 상세한 항해 계획과 전투 방향을
듣자 하니까.
Just when I thought our discussion was reaching a stalemate, Heathcliff butted in.
당신은 또 뭔데요?
닥쳐. 지금 너 혼자 개고생해? 여태껏 다 쳐 뒤져가면서 굴러왔잖아. 여기 있는 놈들 전부. 이번에도 결국 어떻게든 될 거라고.
그러니까 대호수 위에서는 그런 방법은 통하지 않는다고요. 관리자님이 수정당해도 끝이고 그것에게 우리가 먹혀서
I don't know, just keep stabbing it from the inside. Eventually something will happen.
알아듣겠어요? 지금까지의 상식으로 움직이다간 진짜 우리는 끝장날 수도 있다고요. 그러면 그 새끼도 못 죽일 테고.
좋아. 네 말이 맞다고 쳐. 이대로 가면 우린 다 돼지고 나도 아니 돌아갈 수 없게.
Man, if only I knew his book at all, and I'd be like, oh, he's on the thing! But I don't know his book at all, so calf something.
그래서 잠깐이라도 놀면 뭐가 좀 덧나냐? 그 망할 고래 새끼들이 더 세져? 분위기를 계속 조져놨으면 같이 어울리는 척이라도 해야 될 거 아니야, 상식적으로!
제법 웃기네요. 히스클리프 씨? 당신이 뭘 안다고 상식 운우네요. 고래를 만나본 적이
Have
있어요?
you ever seen a
대호수에
whale?
가본 적이나 있고? 뭘 답지 않게 이제 와서 아는 척이죠? 배 위의 생활에 대해서는 알기나 해요. 알 리가 없죠. 팔자 좋게 자기 연인인지 뭔지 모를 이름이나 중얼대고 버스에 기대 졸다가 틈나면 성질이나 바락바락 내는 댁은
그만해라.
물 아래에서 기어오는 것과 하늘 위에서 떨어지는 것, 그 모든 것들을 죽여야 하고 산성 태풍, 참치 쓰나미, 뇌압 폭풍 같은 이름도
Tuna tsunamis?
호수 제일과
That just sounds like all you can eat tuna.
그 폭풍 때문에 발생하는 산만한 크기의 파도, 크게 지나가면 또다시 나타나는 개 같은 괴물들.
I feel like the desire to like ask her, like, is she stronger than she was back then? Like, if she is, then like, I don't know. Like, I mean, she is, because we're gonna do her Kanto, we're gonna fight Moby Dick, beat him, and we're gonna kill what's his nuts, who Ishmael hates. So like, obviously they are stronger, at least you'd agree, but like,
등을 맡긴 동료는 잠시 한눈판 사이에
What's his nuts?
what's his nuts? I don't remember their names. I'm terrible with names.
그 지옥 같은 호수에 대한 모든 일들은
Captain Ahab?
Yes.
Yeah.
당신같이
See, you know who I was talking about. I don't need names. I just need
I
what's
did, I
nuts.
did.
I just need what's his nuts.
Their story role. That one guy.
That one guy from her story.
100번 더 죽어도 모를 일일 테니까.
그만하라고 했지!
Before anyone could even step in, Heathcliff swung wildly at Ishmael.
너 따위가 뭘 한다고 함부로 짓거려!
Just everybody's watching. I feel like we should do something.
이보게.
Nah.
The tussle was such a blitz that no one could even attempt to intervene. Yi Song almost looked pitiful as he stood there bewildered. For a moment, it appeared as though Heathcliff had the upper hand as his fist struck Ishmael right in her jaw. Just as Ishmael appeared to throw a punch, she kicked Heathcliff's leg, throwing him to the ground. Hey, Ishmael, wait! The blink of an eye, Ishmael took up her mace. She raised it high as though she could strike it down at any moment. Her arms trembles with uncontrollable fear. There should be arms, not arm, because she's totally with two hands. And then trembled.
그래, 머리통을 내려치려고 내가 전에 했던 것처럼 죽여. 상관없어. 어차피 살아날 테니까. 나하고 다를 거라 생각한 내가 바보지. 역시 다들 똑같네.
Ah! It all worked out! Look at that! I wasn't sure what caused her sudden change of heart, but it was a relief of sorts, at least. She looked at Heathcliff with her eyes wide open, and dropped the mace to the ground.
이런 불상사를 다시 보고 싶진 않았소만.
Yi Song, I know you're trying, buddy. Calling anybody in this group that doesn't involve Don Quixote in some way a friends is stretching it.
결국 벗들과의 다툼은 피할 수가 없는 일인가.
쟤네 보니까 우리 옛날 생각나지 않아? 저렇게 치고받고 싸울 때가 있었는데.
누님, 쉿.
단테, 첫 임무로부터 큰 분란이 발생한 적은 없었기에 이야기하지는 않았지만 수감자들의 업무 불안은 관리 실패로 간주되어 추후
Should a
기숙사에 머무를 수
workplace
있습니다.
conflict arrive? Ah! What was I supposed to do? Was what I wanted to say, but I managed to hold my metaphorical tongue.
이것이 어떻게 관리자님의 책임이지? 저 머저리들이 멋대로 싸웠을 뿐이지 않나?
그러한 일을 벌어지지 않게 하는 것이 관리라는 직무죠.
이놈.
그만해요, 여러분.
맞소. 이런 상황은 영웅적인 우리 림버스 컴퍼니와는
Okay, but
어울리지
Faust, but
않소.
like, you say that, but like, I don't have any of like the things I could do as a manager. Like, I can't threaten to fire them. I'm like, stop.
Manage them.
Stop it, Heathcliff. Bad boy. Could I slap him?
Naughty dog.
Naughty Heathcliff. Naughty Ishmael. And then they both look at me, and then they start hitting each other again.
Yep.
Sinclair's hesitance, Don Quixote's attempts to defuse, Faust's impassive voice, and Otis's increasingly rising voice in my defense. All of that combined was starting to get incredibly irritating. There's a lot of people here. Stop it! Guys, enough. I had no other recourse left this moment besides saying enough. I got in my most fatherly TikTok. Ishmael, Heathcliff.
뭐?
The two of you stop working together for a while. Distance yourselves. At least until I can think of a way to deal with you two.
나라고 저 면상을 굳이 찾아보고 싶진 않아.
Thus, the mood fell into a pit as depressing as this mudflat.
자, 이제 견적도 나왔으니까 슬슬 폐품을 모으러 가셔도 될 것 같네요.
We spent the next few days collecting scraps with the rest of the sinners.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다.
Fucking
의를 바로
43%.
세우는 데 일조하였으니 내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
The lunacy rises!
Free money!
준비한 대로만 하면
I'm ready for when fucking Walpurgis comes.
100초만 기다려줄게.
틈을 끊어.
대성공이야. 칼은 신나. 노래 부를까?
Fucking when you're clashing with someone that even when you pass all of your coins and they fail all of your coins, you still don't win. Ruh-roh.
You call that hopeless?
받아볼 테니
속이 미스꺼워 보여.
끝내 전소하리.
무상한 목숨. 불끈한 지원의 뿐.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
우와,
받아볼
사람도
테니까.
깜짝.
이제 깨우치시길.
내 피가 배고파 있어.
먹을 콱 물어버리자.
잘 됐다. 그치?
훌륭하군요. 거슬하긴.
우와,
불가
사람도
위야.
깜짝.
Bobo, you
나
did.
이제 깨우치시길. 오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니 내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
The days were as suffocating for them as it was for me. Well, say for Otis, maybe.
어이, 그렇게 연결하면 흡기 쪽에 문제가 생기잖아.
그러면 어떻게 해요? 라인이 3개나 나뉘는데.
답답하군. 직접 시범을 보이지. 허, 이런 건 내가 공병대들과 작전을 지휘했을 때에 비하면
Otis, who appeared to be rather knowledgeable in engineering, continues to support Moeller Boatworks bus modification.
하우스트 양, 혹여 수감자들의 신상 명세서에 기호품이나 취향에 대한 기록은 없소.
Man, Yi-sung is trying to be like a happy boy and get everybody presents.
He wants to prove he's different. He's changed. He's learned something.
벌써 몇 번이나 말씀드렸지만 지금의 조치는 관리자님의 판단을 우선하는 것이 올바른 수감자.
에헤이! 싸운 거 풀 때는 술만한 게 없다니까. 어디 내 비장의 술이라도 내줘?
설마 지난번부터 계속 말한 킹크랩계 뇌수 담금주요?
오, 그건 나도 좀 땡기는데.
아니요. 내가 직접 물어보겠네.
안 될 것 같은데.
Yi-sung was trying to come up with various ways to bring Heathcliff and Ishmael's feud to a close.
분.
Fucking. I want more of this. I want more of this.
아니, 여기서는
glorious.
다 분.
Of course, Merceau has completely learned fucking Ryoshi's.
어허. 그래. 숨이 아직 붙어 있을 때 그렇게 해보는 것도 새로운 예술을 추구하는 방향이겠군.
고통을 더 가하기 위한 제안은 아니었으며 그저 조리하기에 알맞은 방향을 말한 것뿐이다.
저희 언제 저녁 먹을 수 있어요? 벌써 그 대화만 30분째예요.
레인, 나 죽어. 배에서 크랩개들 울음소리가 나.
누님, 정신 차리셔야 합니다.
It seems that Ryoshu and Merceau were trying to come up with a way to make the trash crabs more palatable. Not that I had any taste buds or a mouth, but it'll sort of resemble actual food. At least in its presentation.
꼬맹이들, 그리로 튄다. 꼬맹? 아니요. 자, 싱클레어군, 마무리를 부탁함세.
그레고르 씨, 저는 왼쪽 다리 할게요.
알았다고. 으차.
Most other sinners were busying themselves with hunting trash crabs and collecting scrap. They say that practice makes perfect, and everyone was already performing rather well-coordinated attacks, even without my input. As for Heathcliff...
그레고르 씨, 불쇼라도 보여주시는 건가요?
좀 더 화려하게 휘감도록.
아니, 저건 그냥 타는 거잖아요.
빼내었다. 이미 음식의 기능은 상실한 것 같지만.
나 주시오.
I will eat the piece of charcoal.
히스클리프군.
Heathcliff?
뭐야 그게 저기 길잡이 그 인간이랑 면담하고 왔어. 이제
면담 맞지?
아무튼 말썽은 안 일으키도록 하겠어. 그것뿐이야. 그러니까 나도 하나만.
Sorry, Smosh. I don't know if Virgilius really had just talk of Heathcliff, but Dante, you've seen Virgilius's just the talk with Don Quixote earlier. I'm glad that unlike most other times, he was here to at least get Heathcliff to calm down. But Ishmael. Nah, shit, he's gonna have just talk with me.
오가는 대화가 아니라
Fuck you, you lying shit.
이미 대충 전달받았겠습니다만 두 문제아들에 대한 면담을 진행했었습니다. 보았던 것처럼 히스클리프에게는 교육을 진행해 효과를 보았지만 이스마엘은 해결되진 않았습니다. 정확히는 해결할 이유가 없다고 할까?
What are you talking about?
무슨 뜻인지.
Yeah, I must be. Surely you don't understand what I'm saying. Surely.
설마 설명까지 덧붙이는 친절을 바라는 건 아니겠죠. 조만간 직접 깨닫는 날이 올 겁니다. 애초에 이런 애들 뒷바라지나 해주는 듯한 일은 제 소관이 아니니까 말입니다. 관리자 단테.
Man, you say it's not part of your job, but you're doing it without being asked. I know you're putting in extra work, and I appreciate it.
앞으로는 제가 나서는 일은 없었으면 합니다. 제가 먼저 둘 사이에 면담을 한 것은 최근 업무 성과가 나쁘지 않았던 것에 대한 작은 성이라구나.
I do want to point out, I find it entertaining how out of our entire group, Virgilius is in like the top 4 for how often he smiles.
He's just a happy guy, you know? He's got so much to be happy about.
Because like it's down here to like number 1. And then Radia. And then maybe Faust, actually, and then Virgilius.
Forget Don Quixote.
Don Quixote's number 1. Oh,
okay.
Don Quixote's number 1. She's always smiling. Unless she is actively dying, she is smiling.
High on life.
Like that, Ishmael was left alone, with little progress to speak of. According to the people from the boat works, she apparently snuck out alone late at night to make various preparations. Even when I visited her, when I found her hanging about and called her over to her, she didn't respond to me at all. She wasn't ignoring me, rather, she seemed too deeply fixated on what she was doing. What should I do about her? No, what was I supposed to do then? While a clear answer still eluded me, Mephistopheles' Mizamea was entering its final stages. Fuck, no way I pronounced that right. French.
Those were words.
No, yeah, it's French. I'm never gonna pronounce a French word correct just by looking at it. Fucking hors d'oeuvre. Fuck you. Oh wow, this is a big fight. Get in here. You'll be fine.
What you could do instead is, instead of bringing in 2 more, you could make Faust and Mersault number 1 and number 2, and they both get 2 slots.
That's true.
잠깐.
It's just. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It's not gonna be an issue.
Damn, putting Yi-Song instead of Gregor, that's disrespect.
Yi-Song helps more than Gregor. And especially for big fights,
The
like.
pierced weak enemies.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the SP healing. It's very helpful.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's very helpful. Especially in fights like this where
it does let you scale so fast.
Especially in fights like this where it just starts off against like an ego boss or whatever. Like, it's very nice having his SP healing just to get everybody up to 45 quickly. Since if this is what I think it is, of just one big fight, it could be really hard to get the SP up.
True.
All the sinners, save for Ishmael, gather to behold the finished product.
이것이 새롭게 변한 버스의 모습이요?
And all Gregor contributes, which while it is good, all he contributes is just damage. Doesn't say it's bad, it's good, but you know, like it's if we're in like
not utility.
Yeah, if we're in like, you know, like in a mirror dungeon or whatever, I'll take Gregor all the time because they're always gonna be at 45 SP after, you know, round 2 or whatever. But in just fights, everything starts at 0. It's very nice having Yi-Song.
이것은 버스배요, 배버스요.
I think I'll go with Busboat.
Definitely Busboat.
What about Boost?
바퀴는 어디 갔죠?
No.
No.
이러면 유사 이후에는
What boast?
쓸데없는
예.
걱정.
예.
당연히 배와 버스의 형태를 오갈 수 있게 개조했지.
그런 신기한
What kind
요술
of
버스
magic?
같은 일이
I'm
진짜
pretty
일어난다고?
sure we were introduced to it as it being a magic bus.
메피스토펠레스는 원래부터 여러 가능성에서부터 나오는 각종 기능을 지닌 버스였어요.
자자, 그쯤들 하시고 시동을 걸어보죠.
Does Otis smile often? She smirks, and that's different than smiling.
Yeah.
She like evilly.
There's no
smirks.
happiness reflected.
Yeah.
It's cruelty behind her eyes, not happiness.
As Mika fiddled with its controls, the bus, I mean the boat, I mean the bus boat, shuddered away. And sputtered off with the odd screeching noise we heard earlier.
뭔가 부족한 것 같은데요. 형상 변환 쪽 장치가 문제인가?
귀청 떨어지는 줄 알았네. 대체 뭐가 부족하면 저런 소리가 나는 거야?
미카, 아무래도 저번에 적당히 때운 그게
뭐? 적당이라고 했나?
어쩔 수 없었다고요. 부품이 모자랐단 말이에요. 원래는 대체가 안 되는 부품이 있는데
There was this one part that we needed to make this work. We didn't have it, so we just kind of shrugged and hoped.
이거 분명 엔진 소린 아니라고 했었지?
이전에 마주했던
A giant enemy crab.
전과 같은 소리에 이끌렸나 보.
마침 잘 됐네. 저 커다란 놈 분명 등딱지에 그 부품을 달고 있었어. 맞지?
That's convenient.
그렇긴 한데요.
누님, 아니죠?
맞는데 그 부품이 비싸고 만들기 힘들어서 많이들 필요로 한다는 그거 맞잖아.
근처에 있던 다른 보트센터 직원분들도 많이들 돌아가셨다는 건 기억하고 계시죠?
그거야 부품 때문이 아니라 갑자기 덮쳐 들어온 거니까 그런 거고. 지금은 여기 우리를 도와주실 분들이 이렇게나 많이 있으니까. 맞다. 우리 완전 거질
So glad to be of
때부터
assistance,
보트센터
Olga.
생활을
Yeah.
도와주던 분들도 저놈이 다 죽였지? 이번 기회에 속 시원하게 박살 내버리자. 킹크랩계 뇌수 담금주도 더 만들고.
누님?
우리도 나눠줄 거지?
우리요?
이번 킹크랩계는 몇 년씩이나 해를 묵었다고 하니까요. 같은 놈이겠네요.
아무튼 그놈만 잡아 죽이면 해결된다는 거 맞냐?
바로 그렇지.
바로 그렇다는데 시계 대가리.
Heathcliff turned to me, visibly eager to gulp and crush
아니,
some shells.
차라리 잘 됐지 않나요?
Ishmael?
나 참, 이스 어디 있다가 온 거야?
당연히 대호수에서 버틸 수 있는 준비들을 하고 있었죠. 고래에 대한 가이드라도 빼곡하게 만들어둬야 최소한의
It's an
공부라도 하지
exhaustive
않겠나.
guide on whales.
나 그런 거 안 읽는 거 알면서 또 그런다.
I remember when Virgilius like went through the effort to prepare pamphlets for like where we were going, and not a soul read them.
그럼 읽을 수밖에 없도록 귀에 못이 박히게
I think he
해드리죠.
still does that. They just keep not reading them.
관리자님 보셨죠? 저희에게는 아직도 시간이 필요해요. 준비해야 할 것도 훨씬 많고요. 저 킹크립계는 쫓아낼 수 있는 거잖아요. 그럼 그렇게 해두고 버스 개조는 좀 더 뒤로 미루죠. 그렇게 시간을 벌면
Ishmael, I'm not sure. My lack of memory doesn't help, of course, but I don't get what you're so scared of, or what we're supposed to be preparing for. As much as I want to respect your opinions and reflect them, I don't think this is the best for all of us, so...
모두는 무슨 모두예요.
에?
솔직해지죠 저희. 지금 여기에 정말로 모두를 위해서 희생하는 사람들이 있나요?
I feel like 3 of us are. I feel like Don Quixote, Yi Song Now, and maybe Merceau are. And maybe
I think Marcel's just here.
he's just here.
다들 자신만의
And
목표를
Radia.
이루기 위해
Radia is
멤버스
also an
캠프에
all of
계약했죠.
us person. I
저도
feel like maybe.
이전번의 이상 시도 그리고
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out more about her later, but she acts like it at least.
결국 자신이 이루고 싶은 걸 이루기 위한 거 아닌가요?
Yeah, but we can all do it together.
그리고 당신도
I don't know why I'm here, Ishmael.
기억을 되찾기 위해서 생전 알지도 못했던 황금 가지라는 걸 억지로 찾아다니고 있는 거잖아요.
I don't even think that was promised to me. I was just told I'll get fucking engraved or something.
No, they said that they told Dante that they'll get their memories
Did
back.
they? Okay.
누구보다 개인적인 동기로 움직이면서 왜 모두를 위하는 척이신 거죠?
너 이 자식 감히
Or at least they promised to
관리자님께
let them engrave the aspect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he got promised to engrave, and like Dante said, I don't know what that is, but my instincts want it.
I know I want it.
Yeah, I know I want it.
그만.
Oh, hey, Virgilius. Virgilius, who seemed to have been discreetly listening in on our conversation, joined as though he'd been a part of it from the start.
이스마일, 면담 때 분명하게 이야기했지. 계약을 지키는 것이 우선이라고.
계약?
It's very nice of Giant Enemy Crab to be letting us have this conversation. He is being very
polite.
Very polite.
그래요.
Well, he's just in the distance. He's not here yet.
It said he was coming, and we heard like the thudding of him coming, and then we had this entire like 5-minute thing happen. Ishmael glared at me with a face unlike anything she'd shown before. She's shown this face before. I sense clear hostility in her eyes.
그래요. 그 잘난 계약은 지키죠. 관리자님. 당신이 시키신다면 따르기는 할
Why are you mad at me? Virgilius is the one who keeps bringing up the contract. Why are you mad at me?
그러니까
Fuck you specifically.
Fuck you! You made Virgilius come out! Fuck you!
제가 주제넘게 나서서 무언가를 돕거나 설명하는 일은 없을 테니까. 뭐예요? 저 집채만하게 큰 놈 죽이러 가자는 명령 아니었나요? 명령해 주시는 대로 계약에 따라 기꺼이 따르죠. 관리자 단테님.
After Ismael finished speaking, she blankly stared at me as awaiting my order. You know, I get the whole being a smartass thing, but like, you're only gonna be able to maintain that for maybe an hour. To which I can only reply with, let's go. As soon as I finished, Ishmael turned around and left the shop as if on cue. All I could do was lead the other sinners and follow her. Just then, I heard vicious sounds of crashing waves and roars of an all-crushing storm. Visions of destruction passed before me. Limbs and bits of flesh tear off in the shredding storm that brings crashing waves. Ishmael clings to the ship for dear life. And a behemoth of an eye, its overwhelming and all-consuming size, looming over the ship, watches her in silence. Perhaps this could be a clue to Ishmael's perplexing behavior. Nah, you're thinking too much about Dante. You're just having weird visions like you do sometimes.
늦으면 내피랑 먼저
Gotta stop taking those substances, Dante.
Yeah, those golden bowels, man. You should maybe stop eating those. Hey, Dante, I don't know what you like, man, but maybe eating a thing that, like, physically manifests a person's trauma, maybe not the best thing to just kind of...
I don't think they're eating it, but sure.
대성공이야. 가은 신나. 노래 부를까?
끝내. 전소하리.
우와. 사람도 깜짝. 승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹었어.
Go! I'm very interested to see who the next banner characters are, because at least looking at the what we had for like the guaranteed 3-star thing, there's still gonna be like, you know, one for each of the other centers. It looked like. So I'm interested.
For the season, or
for the like the card we had where it had you know when we saw the preview, it had like the glass with all the broken shards, and each shard was one of the banner characters so far.
Oh yeah, it doesn't usually fill all of those little slots up,
No, it
but there's
doesn't.
usually, let's say, 9 to 10 seasonal units per season.
Yeah, I'm interested who was next. I had assumed, you know, I'm wrong, obviously, that it was all gonna be like the branches, or it's gonna be the feudal Japan-esque thing, or China.
China,
yeah. Yeah, man. And it was all gonna be of that style. But no, we got the 4 of them, and now we have the 2 thumb or whatever the fuck they are.
They're all relevant to the Kanto.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But they're not all necessarily from the same place.
Giant enemy crab. Get them, potential woman. Get them.
전탄격발.
I am reloading. I can no longer clash. Never mind. I thought isn't he once he reloads? I thought, or is it only that one skill?
No, it depends on how much ammo he's spent. If he gets overheat, that's when it starts applying that.
Oh, right. Right.
불가 위야 막아내지 못하리. 이제 깨우치시게.
쨍그랑 부위가 조각났어. 계속해도 돼.
God, if he like gets through that normally, he does hit like a fucking truck though.
He does.
받아볼 텐가.
I look at his ammo about to run out. No. I mean, it's fine, it's dead, but. According to Virgilius, the people at the boatworks have been saving up for a trip back to V Corps' backstreets, where their fixer office used to be. After experiencing a warp train malfunction, they apparently decided they'd rather take the car. I considered telling them the truth I learned from a number of identities. I figured ignorance is bliss and kept my figurative mouth shut. So, does it mean the identities like we have, or different type of identities?
The identities we have, you can glean information about the mirror worlds and stuff like that, and how certain things function. Like the W Corp identities.
Yeah. Well, it's like
explain how.
Yeah.
W Corp's dirty laundry goes.
I figured that, you know, the way the identities works, it is looking through the mirror world or whatever, but I was wondering how canon they are. You know,
The mirror worlds all exist.
yeah.
There's no non-canon identities, just non-canon times in which you'd see them.
Yeah.
Like, you have Kanto 8 identities, but canonically no one would be seeing anything about Kanto 8 yet, you know?
I still stand by. I want the sinners, like, give me like a paragraph or something of their take on their IDs. Like, I want to hear Faust talking about the one who grips Faust, and Sinclair talking about the one who shall grip Sinclair.
That would be cool.
I want to hear like them give their opinions on it. Maybe I feared the things I said could bring bad results again. Like how Ishmael had fallen out with me.
걸려라.
오, 걸렸어.
이걸로 완성이네요.
마침 밀물대네요. 지금 출발하실 수 있을 겁니다.
자, 그럼
오.
보트 형태로 전환.
이렇게 변하는군.
이 차량을 설계한 분이 존경스럽네요. 사실 저도 듣기만 들었지 실제로 이렇게 작동하는 건 처음 봐서. 아마 이 차량의 핵심만 건재하다면 다른 형태로도 충분히 바뀔 수 있을걸요?
Ah, yes, the bus plane.
어떻게 이런 코어가 존재할 수 있는 거죠? 정말 대단하다는 말밖에는 나오지가 않네요.
네, 파우스트는 대단합니다.
자, 그럼 다들 탑승하세요. 물가에 가서 배로 다시 전환하면 될 거예요.
Aboard the now boat-shaped Mephistopheles, we forged ahead in the ever-rising water. My relationship with Ishmael was still precarious, which was something I still wasn't sure what to do about. Oh, bless you. But since some of the sinners were also trying to be supportive towards Ishmael, I decided that it'd be best if I tried to come up with a solution in the meantime. Maybe I'll find out more the further we got from the shores of the Great Lake.
잘 나아가네요.
그럼 우리 이제 돈 받아서 외식하러 갈 수 있는 거야?
돈이라면 아까 받았어요. 계약 이행 완료하자마자 제비아치 협회에서 보낸 배송 전문 해결사가 오시더니 바로 잔금을 치러주시던데요.
오, 생각보다 어마어마한 회사였는데? 좋아! 잔뜩 벌었으니 오늘은 크랩게 말고 오랜만에 돼지고기 어때? 삼겹살로!
좋죠, 누님.
그런데 미카.
네?
이번 개조 목록에 잠수 기능도 있었어?
그럴 리가요?
저거 기우는 것 같은데.
야, 빨리 물 빼!
Nice.
양동이는 어딨죠?
I found a hole.
이곳에.
관.
출발할게. 보글보글.
Fucking Carol.
Glub glub.
I'm drowning. Glub glub.
구명보트 꺼내올게요.
위약금 낼 준비나 해야겠네요.
조졌군.
What the fuck was that zoom in? Bean. With our frantic attempts to drain the bus and Charon's skillful rope. Alright. We managed to get back to the boatworks and have the bus repaired. With that, our voyage on the Great Lake began somehow in earnest.
Somehow.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니
Nice.
내일은
Okay.
덧박질
So you want to do...
Next is Kanto 5, The Evil Defining.
Yeah. So you want to do these two stories? The Seven Association?
Sure. Did you want to do the minis first?
Oh, sure.
Just so you can jump right into Kanto 5 next time? Since we seem to be decently ahead on time. No, the minis, not the start of Kanto 1. What?
Whatever. We can go through this. Yeah, right. I remember. It hasn't been so long since...
It might be best to just skip this and come back.
Okay. We have to remember.
Because it's just a story, and then you can... Yeah.
first. Money. Money.
Free lunacy. Rooms past the back door.
I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Whether we're riding the bus through a forest or navigating the bus boat over a vast lake, our daily routine changes very little.
감사합니다. 지금부터 변동 가능성을 가진 최대 12시간의 수면 및 휴식을 시작합니다. 좋은 밤.
The usual hubbub followed by the usual leisurely idleness. I guess I'm not the only one starting to enjoy these normal routine days. It wasn't by choice, though. By now, I thought we'd be sailing vigorously across the waters toward the Lobotomy Core branch located somewhere within U-Core. But here we are, unable to leave the coastal side of the Great Lake, dawdling and twiddling our thumbs. Well, it's not like there's been an accident. While Faust didn't elaborate, she explained what we had to wait for now. If I were to hazard a guess, we were waiting here to complete some kind of an entry procedure, like we did at K-Core. Either that, or waiting for someone, probably the Before team, to get in touch with us. Which brings us here, surrounded by nothing but endless water. The sinners chattered about inane subjects before complaining about this immense boredom. But deep down, we were all exhausted from the unending onslaught of physically and emotionally draining happenings. Deep down, we all knew these leisure days would not last. So we elected to enjoy this brief maritime respite in our own ways. For a moment, I thought it was fucking the soda Hanlu.
Not quite.
자네 정말 괜찮은 것이오?
수없이 말했으나 또 한 번 대답하자면 나는 괜찮소.
속에 있는 것을 자꾸만 호수에게 되돌려주는데 그게 어찌 괜찮단 말이오?
Except for Yusong, who had a surprisingly low tolerance for seasickness. This voyage was proving to be rather uneventful. Yusong, the day's over. You can go back to your room now.
드디어 벗어날 수 있는 것인가?
Seriously, I told you that you could rest your room if you wanted.
벗들 또한 고충이 있어. 어찌 나 혼자 그리하겠는가?
You're the one at the biggest share of suffering right now. While I wish that he'd be more reasonable with himself, I could see where he was coming from. I thought better of it than to try to convince him otherwise. I instead chose up Yusong to his room.
고맙소, 단테. 그럼 조금 있다 보겠네.
I waved up to him and watched until he stumbled into his room and closed the door behind him.
관리자 나리, 그럼 본인도 먼저 휴식을 취하겠네.
Yeah, rest well. Don Quixote walked in the same door that Yusong had walked into. I could get a blurry glimpse into a room over her shoulder. I couldn't get a good look at it, but it was certainly not the same room Yusong had walked into. I see these doors every day, but I still don't get it. I should probably be useless by now, but it's still pretty fascinating how the rooms change based on who opens the door. I turned, leaving their shut door behind, ready to return to my room. Oh, I saw this weird shit happen to me! There's a door immediately to the right side of that demarcation of the corridor we're not allowed to cross. Within that door is a space somewhat different from the sinners' rooms. In there, the wooden door to my room and the metal door leading into the mirror dungeons. The doors leading to the Luxcavation dungeons and the recently opened door to the Refraction Railway also come into view. Isn't the Refraction Railway like fucking Kanto 7 or something?
No, the Refraction Railway is rotating game mode.
Oh.
So right now, it's the railway like 5 or 6? I think it's Railway 5 right now.
No new doors. Yet. For no reason in particular, I creak those doors open and take a quick peek inside to see if anything changed. Well, I never actually managed to catch any changes myself, but who knows? Maybe I'll know something worth keeping to myself. Which I should probably report to Faust. Maybe I'll find something worth keeping to myself. I should tell Faust, though. Something must have caught wind of my rather mischievous thought. An ear-splitting siren blares all the way here from the other end of the bus.
아이씨, 또 뭐야?
아이, 이거 그때 고지 볼륨 좀 내리라고.
I spun around to face the other side of the corridor. The sinners, alarmed by the noise, were one by one peeking out of the rooms. They were used to the siren by now, but that didn't change the unpleasant fact that their sweet private hours were disturbed.
단테, 마침 잘 되었네요. 함께 확인하러 가시죠.
Okay. I accompanied Faust to the helm. She fiddled with a few buttons and shut off the alarm. Incomprehensible, complicated-looking letters began to fill the round screen. Is that a new room?
아무리 파우스트더라도 해독할 수 있는 시간 정도는 다소 필요.
Right. The siren always comes without warning. And with it appeared the Mirror Dungeons, the Excavation Dungeons, and the Refraction Railways. I don't know if it's relevant, but I didn't see anything that would indicate activity when I checked the railway door earlier.
그쪽은 아닐 확률이 제일 높죠. 아직 2호선으로 가는 문의 불도 꺼지지 않았는데 그렇게 빠른 시기에 올 거라고는 생각하기 어렵네요.
I guess you're right. The first railway really took me by surprise when it appeared. A new door had appeared before us, its edges shimmering with a blue glow, and when we entered it, a mysterious vehicle was just sitting there, waiting for us. Its appearance somewhat resembled that of Mephistopheles, but it was also patently clear that I'd never seen anything like it before. An odd feeling.
철도를 처음 마주했을 때의 기억이 강렬한가 보군요, 단테. 하긴 파우스트가 내부를 확인하려고 진입했을 때 격렬한 반응을 보이셨기도 하고요.
Come on, I wasn't the only one that freaked out. Everyone did. What if that thing left the station before the rest of us got on? Was what I wanted to say if Faust hadn't already turned around from the screen, to which her eyes had been metaphorically glued for a while, and walked away. This wasn't it then?
네. 이번 변동성은 저희가 사용할 법한 게 아니네요.
Right. I thought it was an awkward time for a new door to appear. Too soon.
던전과 철도가 처음 나타난 시기도 묘한 시점이었습니다, 단테. 언제 새로운 요소가 관찰될지 모르니 섣부른 고정관념은 피하는 걸 추천드립니다. 그리고 메피스토펠레스의 엔진이 변동성을 감지해서 울리는 알람은 복도 어딘가에 새롭게 드나들 문이 생겼다는 의미이기도 합니다. 들어섰다가는 정말 되돌릴 수도 없는 공간이 열릴 수도 있으니 확실하게 파악해둬야겠죠.
Even Heathcliff won't do anything like that again. Probably.
섣부른 고정관념은 아무튼 당장에는 큰 문제가 없으니 남은 휴게 시간을 즐기는 편이 합당하다는 생각이 드네요. 먼저 돌아가겠습니다. 편하게 쉬세요, 단테.
With those as her parting words, Faust disappeared into a room in her usual manner. Left alone again on this boat, I looked at the numerous letters displayed on the screen. Numbers, unintelligible letters, drawings and symbols depicting something. I had to shake my clock head after staring at the dizzying sight for a while. I wonder if this is how Yi Song felt earlier. I'm starting to feel nauseous. I was barely able to hold back the vertigo from setting in. Time to saunter back to my room. Let's turn in early tonight. Oh. The first
Next
Walpurgis!
is the first Walpurgis Knock.
Another day, another prolonged and dreary period of waiting, and some more waiting for something to happen. Of course, our busboat was still floating on the coastal's Great Lake. Voices of discontent among the sinners started small, but they had been growing increasingly incessant as of late. All of a sudden, an ear-splitting siren echoes throughout the cabins. It's that alarm again, warning us of a volatility of Mephistopheles, but it was much louder, much more painful than the ones we've heard before. And this time, it wasn't the only thing that sorted our senses.
뭐야? 지금껏 이런 색으로 번쩍거린 일은 없었잖아.
또 뭐야? 이 망할 고물 버스 뭐 잘못 집어먹은 거 아니야?
결국엔 기다림이 끝나고 모험의 시작으로 들어서는가?
이게 저희가 기다리던 건가요?
Virgilius frowned as though he sensed that something was off. He turned to Faust. It was one of those rare occasions when I could sense the slightest hint of confusion from him.
비상. 내 피가 터질 것처럼 울고 있어. 내 피 아파?
파우스트 씨, 이런 알림 형식은 사전에 전달받지 못했는데.
우선 잘못된 사실부터 정정하겠습니다. 메피스토펠레스는 고물버스가 아닙니다. 그리고 무언가를 먹는 행위도 하지 않습니다. 연료 보급을 위해 엔진에 있는 엔케팔린 보급 장치를 간혹 사용하긴 하지만 문제되지 않을 뿐더러 잘못되어도 전부 분해 후에 수리가 가능한
말이 그렇다는 거지. 그래서 대체 무슨 일인데 이게? 터지기 직전 같잖아.
메피스토펠레스를 고물버스라 칭하는 것은 파우스트의 심혈을 기울인 설계와
히스클리프 씨, 아까
Okay,
하신
Faust,
말씀
we
알아?
get it.
계속
Get it?
저러실
You
것
like your
같은데요.
fucking train.
히스, 빨리
It's a
취소해.
bus.
이렇게
Train
설명도 못
bus.
듣고 있다가 진짜 이거 터져버리면 어떡하라고?
It's a
Train bus, bro.
it's a train that was modified to work like a bus.
Well, it's a bus that was modified to look like a boat and has the theme of a train.
아까 말한 것 취소다.
아까라는 표현은 매우 범위가 넓군요. 파우스트는 그것이 구체적으로
The tiny text, that's how you know.
뜻인지 알 수 없습니다. 대신 파우스트는 구체적으로 메피스토펠레스의 대단함을 설명할 수 있습니다. 가령 이 나사는
이 버스.
We got that
고물이라고
crazy
말한
alloy
거,
straight from
뭐 잘못
X-Corp.
먹었냐는 거 취소한다고 미안하다고.
The cabin briefly echoes with his cries, then a brief silence. I think I saw Faust flash the briefest grin of satisfaction. See, tiny grin.
좋습니다.
Good.
전극은 끝났나? 별로 우습지도 않으니 인내심을 그만 시험해줬으면 좋겠어.
Yeah, it's a bit different from the usual alarms. Don't think this one's for a new door.
간단합니다. 그 밤이 찾아온 거죠.
알튼 말
What do you mean?
타파모푼.
답답하게 하면 모가지를
발프르기스의 밤이 찾아온 것 같습니다.
지금은 밤이 아니다만
the
적어도
night is
이
not here.
연안에서는
It is 12 p.m. Faust.
당장 눈에 보이는 태양을 확인할 수 없는 현상인 밤에 대한 이야기가 아닙니다.
그렇다면 이것은 현상에 지어진 이름이라는 말로 들리는구려.
These songs seem to be doing a little better now that the waves had died down somewhat.
네, 메피스토펠레스의 엔진은 여러 기능을 탑재하고 있지만 그 중에서도 여러분에게 와닿는 것은 아마 인격과 에고의 추출일 것입니다. 하지만 추출이 가능한 범위는 다소 한정되어 있는 편입니다. 점차 늘어가고는 있지만
그것도 황금가지와 관련이 있나? 우리의 여정이 진행되는 것에 맞추어 새로운 것이 끄집어 올려지는 것으로 보였는데.
아주 틀린 답은 아니겠군요. 관리자님과 우리 수감자들이 경험하는 것에 따라서 추출 범위가 점차 넓어져 가니까요. 보통 그런 추출은 대가를 치르고 추출해야만 하지만 경험하셨던 것처럼 갑자기 튀어나오는 인격패들이 존재합니다. 기억하시겠죠, 단테?
So fucking meta. Yeah, someone just randomly
Every
popped
game
up.
mechanic is canon.
I know, it's just someone randomly popped out of the engine.
잠깐. 못 따라가겠어서. 인격패는 또 뭐냐?
아, 모르셨나요? 히스클리프 씨는 항상 관심 있는 것에만 관심을 가지신단 말이죠. 조금 부럽기도 하네요.
대가리 깨지고 싶냐?
Heathcliff, we've gone over this. Like the last intervalo was you going over this with Virgilius.
자, 그만 싸우자고. 저 길잡이 양반도 시퍼렇게 쳐다보고 있는데. 아무튼 그 뭐냐, 그거야
Just
그거.
the things he pulls out of the engine
엔진에서
sometimes.
종종 뭘 끄집어내서 들고 오잖아.
다른 세계라고 했던가? 응? 거울 세계. 그건가? 아무튼 그쪽 세계에 우리가 어떤 모습인지 그려져 있는 물건 말하는 거야.
맞아요. 마치 마작패 같죠?
나는 웨이퍼 과자 같다고 생각했는데.
인격이 담겨 있는 물건이 마치 폐와 같으니
I think they play playing cards. I think it looks like food.
인격
Radio likes food. What else wrong with
되었던
that?
것 같소.
그러니까 우리가 그 네모난 장난감 같은 걸로 변신한다고? 난 그런 거 쓴 적 없는데.
That's a lie. If I turned you into Umbrella Man, that's because I'm the one using them.
관리자님의 단말기에는 가지고 있는 인격패와 에고를 직접 장착할 수 있는 홈들이 마련되어 있습니다.
자꾸 싸우기 전에 뭘 만지작거리고 있나 했더니 그걸
I could tell from his flabbergasted expression that none of it had ever occurred to Heathcliff. Wait, is that why I'm just randomly uber depressed? On the other hand, Don Quixote wore a somewhat forlorn expression. What's wrong, Don Quixote?
본인은 그저 이런 상황에서 이스마엘 군이었다면 아직도 그걸 몰랐냐? 라느니 한심하다. 라느니 하고 있을 텐데 막상 보이지도 들리지도 않으니.
You could hear her Ishmael impression.
아, 그렇네. 그게 부족했네.
이 새끼들이.
그만 설명이 밀려 있습니다, 파우스트 씨. 그쯤하고 이 초록색 불빛에 대해 마저 설명하는 게.
관리자님이 광기라는 대가를 치르지 않고도 얻었던 그 인격패들로 미루어 보아 메피스토펠레스의 추출 기능은 불확실성에 따른 예측 불가적 특징을 지닌다고 설명할 수 있을 것입니다.
뭐라는 거야?
그대가 설계한 것에 불확실성이 개입한다는 것은
맞습니다. 이 엔진은 엔케팔린을 연료로 나아가지만 추출과 재구축 기능에 있어서는 혼돈, 쉽게 말해 일종의 가능성을 연료로 하고 있죠. 어딘가에 있을 여러 거울 세계의 줄기들 중에서 관측이 확실해진 것을 찾을 때마다 추출의 범위가 늘어나는데 지금은 그 가능성들의 경계가 완전히 허물어진 것이죠. 현재를 기점으로 과거, 미래 3년의 오차 안에 있던 추출의 범위가 발프루기스의 밤이 찾아올 때는 10년, 어쩌면 그 이상의 범위로 늘어나게 되는 겁니다.
그렇다면 과거 엄청난 이름을 날렸던 해결사 인격들.
Don Quixote, what is going on with you?
Barrel noises. I want to be a cool fixer.
하지만 발프루기스의 밤은 그때만의 독립성을 가지기 때문에 모든 가능성을 무수하게 추출할 수는 없을 겁니다.
You could say they are themed.
그렇다면 과거 최강 전설의 해결사 붉은 안개도
Fucking Don Quixote sounds.
가능성은 매우 낮지만 부정까지 하지는 않겠습니다. 범위는 이 세계가 있기 위해 필연적으로 얽혀있던 세계. 예를 들면 백야, 흡주가 있기 전에 로보토미 코퍼레이션 본사 때의 시점이 대표적이겠군요. 어떤 의미에서는 전곡을 찌르는 질문이었네요, 돈키호테.
I didn't know who this Red Mist was, nor did I know what White Nights and Dark Days was. But I could hazard a guess that they both...
Dante isn't reading their lore videos on YouTube. Gosh.
They both been pretty significant, considering that Virgilius' face grew visibly tense as soon as they were mentioned. The sinners were unsettled too.
정리하자면 이번 알림은 어떠한 긴급적인 상황은 아니라는 것이.
Get this fellow Library of Ruina in a Steam Deck and let them play.
그렇습니다. 가끔 찾아오는 축제 정도로 말할 수 있겠네요. 아직까지는요.
축제, 신나는 일, 카룬도 신나.
전부 이해가 된 건 아니지만 우리가 기다리던 신호는 아니군요.
맞아. 대기는 그대로다.
The sinners sighed and groaned of disappointment as the newfound anticipation fizzled. Well, something did happen, but it wasn't something that would get us moving. I can see what a disappointment this might be to them.
그럼 저 시끄러운 녹색불은 언제 꺼지는 거지?
엔진에서 추출을 진행하기만 하면 자동으로 꺼질 겁니다. 안심하세요.
자, 이제 다들 적당히 해산해. 관리자, 당신은 빨리 추출을 진행해서 저 알람 좀 끄도록.
좋말. 새 것이 나와도 기껏 뒷문 탐방이나 하고 다니겠지.
그래도
Ryoshu's
언제
bored of the
유유자적이
grind.
있어보겠나요?
Ryoshu, I haven't used you in like 3 weeks. Shut up.
기다리는 자에게
You are forever benched. Every sitter says their piece before returning to their seats. Some of them walk out of the cabin to gaze at the lake. It's something they must be growing a tad tired of doing at this point. Maybe they're just going out for a long sigh. And Otis walked up to me.
관리자님, 신경 쓰이지 않으십니까?
에?
저 괴짜 과학자가 아직까지는이라고 말했습니다. 뭔가 뒤가 더 있는 거죠.
Otis was right. While Faust did tell us to consider this nothing more than a festival that arrives once in a while, she definitely knew more than she was letting on. But if Faust speaks of something in her characteristically cryptic manner, it means that she will never tell us until she wants to. Well, it does bother me a little, but right now we don't have a lot of options. Let's just put a pin in it for now. Otis nodded affirmatively, bowed, and returned to her seat. Well, let's get extracting like Faust said. Well, I mean, I gotta do an extract then. Because it's canon!
It's thematic.
It's thematic!
Canon extraction?
Oh!
And it's canon that Dante gets nothing from it.
Alright, this one is gonna be an upgraded one.
Okay.
Fuck! Oh my god, that
It was a Mersault!
That is a depressed Mersault. That is a depressed.
He's working. Look at how fast he's typing. Look at the speed with which his fingers are moving across the keyboard.
Man, that's... Alright, well. That could have been better. I'm happy that my Mersault collection is finally growing. Too bad, like, all of these kind of suck ass, though. Fucking... Oh, got Tremor and Tremor? So it's just worse than his current one.
I mean, yeah. It's a season 2 star.
Oh, what can you do?
야밤에
Anyway, beep bap boop bap beep beep skibbity bop. Book.
Uptie story.
My foot.
Give me just a second.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to uptie someone else so we can have another story next time.
Really? Just don't let me finish my backlog, huh? Why do you even bother staying in the 7?
Oh wait, I forgot it's Ryoshu.
And
I forgot it's Ryoshu, and like this is what her dialogue is gonna be most of the time.
Yup. The child was always harsh to others' questions.
I can't like double tap too often, or I'm gonna always skip her.
While her snappish replies weren't a result of meticulous calculation, the Seven Association nevertheless took an interest in that trait of hers. Information dissymmetry. Although the Seven Association specializes in gathering intelligence, it's never easily shared its knowledge with others on principle. In that sense, the child could be seen as someone discreet about her info, a woman of few words, if you will. Of course, that wasn't necessarily her intention. It's far more likely that the child just needed an excuse to swing her sword. Watch and learn. The child lifted her weapon with an unorthodox posture and got to work. Each spot targeted and touched by her sword was peeled, cut, sliced, strewn. Packed. Peak art created through swordsmanship. She left a lump of flesh that could no longer be recognized as human in her wake.
Wow, that was... Alright. Fucking...
It's a very early one. It's very short.
Alright. Alright. Well, Heathcliff, you're gonna give us the same... These are the fucking... Like, all the 3 stars I have, that they just fucking... It's just a short story.
Alright. So let's see if I can try to reclaim the British accent I had from before. I don't think I will, though. What a splitting headache. No, literally. I think my skull's actually about to split in half and blast off. I don't get it. I don't understand how anyone locked them right. I just lost it. I just like fell into the abyss. Mike's a living. Almost became Australian. It's living doing this torture every bloody day. It's so bad. Holy shit. We roll. Just intuition, damn it. My sources. How about my gut feeling, huh? How am I supposed to explain that?
My sources.
It's so bad. I'm just so lost.
It's great.
I've examined hundreds of scenes since I started working here. I've been working good here for a good while too. It's just Aussie now. Before this, I was seen enough of the rough and tumble and had more than my share of violence. Maybe just lean into the Aussie a little bit better. After a life like that, as and whys of a murder scene just come naturally to me. It's just intuition, nothing more.
Well, this is a knife.
I'm not like the armchair detectives in those mystery novels. It's not like I can figure out the whole scene and scheme from a glance. Sometimes clues get lost in the whole mess and, yeah, my head. Call me a profiler, whatever that means. Force me to write these reports every damn day. I'm about to lose it. I'm not thinking of quitting, though. I do love catching these smartasses off guard, watching their overcomplicated conspiracies blowing up in their faces, because some poor uneducated sod like me caught them with the britches down. Priceless. So it's getting to meet them face to face and cut like this before caving their skulls in, downright therapeutic. I always wear this stupid look on their faces, like it didn't occur to them that once we'd find out that like it didn't occur to them once that we'd find out. It's all quite entertaining. Though I wish. That's him, yeah? Yes, he was the last of the first floor personnel. Off with his head then. How many more have we got to go through? Second and third floor adds up to 30 people. Right then, let's crack on, shall we? We got 2 blank reports waiting to be filled out back at the office. Do not forget about the case that was added before we departed for this assignment, Heathcliff. Ah! There are only so many heads I can smash before even that satisfaction begins to dull. I wish I had time to blow off some steam. Cutting people apart doesn't count as blowing off steam.
I mean, like you said, you can only do it so.
It's just work at some point.
Yeah, if you do it too much, it just works.
Now, unlike Ryoshu, who's always happy to just cut people apart.
Yes, this is clock face on the phone. Yeah. So, we're going there then?
Oh yeah.
Are we calling it there then?
I think it's a good spot, yeah. Be kind of awkward to dive into the start of Kanto 5.
Alright then. So, with all of that done, I'd like to thank everybody coming out of stream. Thank you for coming, and hopefully we will see you next one. Have a good night, and we'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you later.